Hi, my name is Mike Rushton from Tamarack Outdoors and welcome to this video on the Feuerhand Lantern. So let's look at the lantern in more detail. First of all, down the bottom here, this is the fuel tank. The lantern runs on paraffin and you fill it up via this cap here. It's just on a screw thread and has an integral rubber washer to obviously hold the fuel in. Very important with the Feuerhand, if you are going to travel somewhere with it in a vehicle or a canoe or something like that, is to ensure that the fuel tank is empty, because this is not a sealed unit. You can get paraffin running out through the top if the lantern does tip up. So come around this section here, there's an arm, and you press this arm down and it raises the globe on the top part of the lantern. This globe here sits down over the burner and the wick, and obviously this prevents the wind from blowing it out, etc. You have got to be careful with this. It's made of glass, so it's quite fragile, but we'll look at spares and repairs for the lantern shortly. Just to press down, and then that lowers the globe over the wick. Here there's a little bar that raises up and down. This is attached to the burner and also the wick, and it raises and lowers the wick. You'll see later on in this video that the more wick you put out, the more light the lantern emits. Moving on up further up the lantern, this is the chimney area that's actually sprung loaded for when you can remove the globe, but more of that later. And also attached is a bail arm. There is a little loop on the top here. I'm not a lover of hanging the lantern from that. I would rather hang it from the bail arm itself. So let's look at filling up the lantern with paraffin. First of all, some safety precautions. Currently I'm in a well ventilated room. I'm away from any naked flames such as cigarettes and fires. The other safety precaution of this as well, never use this lantern when it's lit inside an enclosed tent. It must always be used outside of an enclosed space. So first of all, we just unscrew the cap and then just check your level to make sure that you need it. You can get around about a 16-18 hour burn out of a full tank of paraffin, so quite a long burn. So just check if the tank needs some fuel. This one's round about half full, so I shall place a funnel in, and then I carry some spare paraffin in a 300ml Nalgene bottle, and I just introduce that just in small doses. You can see here as well, I've got this soak pad, in other words an old tea towel, just to ensure it's not going to, if I do overfill it, I've got something to soak the paraffin up. So just small doses, and then every now and again just check the level. Yeah, that's nearly full. That's just at the base of the screw thread here, so I'd class that as full. Once you've done that, screw the screw cap on and just nip it up tight, and that's the lantern full and ready to go. Now I'm going to look at the maintenance of the globe itself. Sometimes you don't get it quite right and the actual globe soaks up through the burning paraffin, so you need to clean that, and also you get things like moths and small insects in there in the summertime. Occasionally you do need to clean the globe. If you do damage the globe, there are spares available. If you do exactly what I'm going to show you now, it's easy to clean it or replace it the same way. So the globe and its cage around it is actually on a hinge system. So you raise up the chimney, which releases the globe, and then move the globe out to the side like that and release the chimney system. And then if you grab the base of the cage on the globe and very gently twist, the globe will just come free. Just to clean the globe is a nice dry rag, being careful of any sharp edges on the top and bottom. And get that nice and shiny clean. Now you will notice on the globe there is a nice smooth rim on one end and a quite sharp rim on the other. This smooth rim goes to the top of the lantern, so when you replace it back into its cage, the smooth rim is placed uppermost. Okay, so this is the smooth part of the globe now, around here, and this is the rough edge here. And all you do to replace that then is raise up the chimney again and flip the globe back in, and then lock it in place with the chimney, and that's the globe clean. So let's look at the burner cap and the wick itself. Both of these can be replaced. You can buy the burner cap with the integral ratchet key that moves the wick up and down. You can buy that separate. You can also buy a separate lamp wick. Also filler caps for the tank, and spare globes if you do end up smashing one. So to remove this, if it does need replacing, we grab the key here and just move that to the side, which releases that burner cap, and then we can just pull that out. Okay. To replace it, drop the wick into the tank, and you'll see two slots that actually marry up the actual top of the tank to the burner wick itself. And then you just push those home like that, and then that locks into the top of the tank. The key here obviously operates up and down the lamp wick. The more lamp wick you put out, the more brighter the lantern gets. But not only that, too much will actually start sooting up the globe itself. A bit of practice with that sorts that out. So to replace a lamp wick into the burner cap, that's how the burner cap sits on the lantern itself. Get a new lamp wick and just place that in the top and push it all the way down till it'll go no further, and then just by a little bit of pressure down on the top, then unscrewing that, you can see the lamp wick coming down through, so it's on a ratchet system inside that. Okay. So I'm looking here, I've got plenty of wick left and tanks full of paraffin. I'm just going to replace the globe now, and then we'll light it. First thing I do is the little arm on the side of the globe, I press that down, and that locks the globe in the upright position. Currently I've got the wick about 5mm above the top of the burner cap. That's all you need initially. Just on the safety side of things, I always light the lantern in its upright position like this, sat on its base, with either a jet lighter or a match. Whatever you do, don't be tempted to tilt the lantern over and light it with a standard lighter like a clipper. Remember, this is not a sealed unit. So I grab the match, and I place that in, and just like that, straight away I put that down and I reduce the flame. Okay, so I've reduced the flame even less than 5mm in a minute, and all I'm doing, I just want this globe to warm up. If you do end up with it going like this, very very quickly the globe will soot. Okay, so just let everything just nice and steady just warm up, and then you can adjust using the key on the side of the burner to whatever brightness you like. So on something like that you'll get about 16 to 18 hours burn on a full tank of paraffin, so it's really efficient, really cheap way to run a lantern. To extinguish the wick itself, all we do, we just reduce the flame and actually use the paraffin itself to put the wick out. There's no need to raise the globe and start to blow, which is obviously quite dangerous. So we just reduce that, let the paraffin itself just douse the flame, just to make sure we can bring the wick back up to make sure it's extinguished completely. That's the Feuerhand Lantern. Really nice piece of kit, especially around camp. Just give this really nice light. And I have 2 or 3 of these when I'm in camp, and it's a really efficient and cheap way of getting some lighting. So I hope you enjoyed this video.